How do I look? Can you even see me? Probably not, because the lighting in my shop is atrocious. Check this out. We got these two fluorescent lights right here. I don't know if you can see or not. They're going out. They're dark at the ends. And these ones are going out too. They're dark at the ends. And believe it or not, that's the good side of the shop. Because over here, you got one whole bulb that's just completely burnt out. And then here, the ballast is out. It's totally unacceptable. Something has to be done, and I got a plan. I picked up these two 4-bulb fluorescent soffits for free on Craigslist. But I'm not putting fluorescent lights back up, because I learned when the ballast went out on my pool table light that you don't need a ballast for fluorescent lights anymore. You can cut that ballast out and replace the bulbs with LEDs. So that's what we're gonna do. I've got 20 LED bulbs right here. I'm gonna take these two fixtures and I'm gonna mount them here, and I'm gonna take those two and mount them over there and over there. So we'll have the same amount of tubes on both sides of the garage, and I think it's gonna really brighten things up in here. So let's get to it. I'm told there are people in the world who, for whatever reason, be it vanity, snobbery, pride, or something else entirely, turn their noses up at used secondhand items. I am not one of those people. I openly embrace the secondhand life, not just for the obvious monetary benefits, but for the chance to appreciate the value someone else left behind and the opportunity to improve upon it. I could have just as easily bought all new light fixtures, but I can't bring myself to throw away something when it still has life left in it. I could also keep them fluorescent by replacing the ballasts and tubes, but I just can't resist the idea of making these old, heavy fixtures lighter, more efficient, less costly, and longer lasting. Of course, without the ballasts, the wiring doesn't quite work anymore, but that's not a problem. There's too much wire in here anyway, and it can be used more efficiently. By swapping the 4 middle terminals, I can eliminate the rat's nest of wire the ballasts seem to require, leaving the fixture tidier, and the minimalist in me with no small amount of satisfaction. The LED tubes came with these warning stickers to alert anyone who might try to install a fluorescent tube in here in the future that the ballasts have been bypassed. I would think that the presence of 4 LED tubes would be self-evident, but I suppose there could be a circumstance where someone finds these with the tubes removed. So now what I'm going to do is put these up there, and I'm going to take these ones down and change the ballasts. Originally, all 4 of these were hung by chains, just like this one, and they were hung from just where this one is, below these whatever these things are, these 2x4s that run across the whole length of the garage. And what would happen was, because they were dangling from chains, I was constantly knocking them with things. Every time I moved a 2x4 around or was just doing anything in here, I was constantly bashing the lights. So I took all the lights off the chains and I just mounted them straight into the 2x4s without chains. That wasn't a great solution either. I was still knocking them. They were still too low. So I finally just went all the way up and mounted them all the way to the rafters. And that's worked out really well so far. And so for these two, I was gonna do the same thing, mount them directly to the rafters. But now I'm thinking about it, they're gonna be up high enough that they can dangle from chains. And they're not gonna be too low. I'm not gonna be bashing into them or anything like that. So I think that's what I'm gonna do, is just dangle them from the chains that they came with. These are so much lighter without those ballasts in them. Shifting gears from electrical to carpentry, I'm presented with a new list of challenges. Chiefly trying to find a straight line to reference when there isn't a straight line to be found anywhere in my old, poorly constructed house. The ridge beam will have to suffice. Before I get too far into this, let's see if we even like, oh my God.
Let there be light. Holy smokes, you can see. I can see again. Oh, look at that, it had dirt on me. Didn't see it before. Wow.
Now that my expectations are truly and thoroughly blown away, I'm eager to see how this space looks with 4 times as many lights. And now that I know what I'm doing, I should be seeing it in no time.
Ta-da! Beautiful.
Installing this one was a little more difficult than the first because the rafters are covered with drywall on the spot I want to hang the second light. So running the screws in first and then hanging the light wasn't an option. I had to run the screws through the chain, which would have been simple enough, but my drill died before I could get the first screw deep enough to hold.
Oh, what a bastard. Oh, what a time for the battery to die. Oh my God.
Let's hope my other drill has a charge.
Whew.
It does.
Here it goes. It's so bright. All right, that's half of it.
The next 4 should go super quick. Not just because I'm practically an expert on this now, but also because I can actually see what I'm doing thanks to the canned sunlight overhead.
Single transformers are a little easier just because they only have 1 transformer or ballast.
These smaller fixtures don't have all of the excess lengths of wire that the bigger fixtures have.
Oh man, that sucks. They left just enough wire to make it work. Well, we can improvise. Uh-oh. Did something wrong here. What I do? Put yellow and blue together, might not work.
Unlike the previous 4 lights, which were wired to a plug, these last 2 are hardwired. Missed it by that much.
Check out these ballasts. Yeah.
I was tempted to just tack these 4 up randomly and call it eclectic rather than try to get them straight, but I think I did all right. Besides, anyone trying to look too closely at how straight I hung these lights will have the full force of the sun shining back at them. If you can't blind them with brilliance, just blind them.
Okay, it's time for the moment of truth. Was all this work worth the $100 I spent on those 20 LED tubes? We're about to find out. You ready? Oh my God, it's like daylight in here. It hasn't been this bright in here since I took the roof off when I re-roofed the house. Wow. This is amazing. Well worth the $100. Plus, I have 4 extra tubes left over, so when I find free fluorescent light fixtures on Craigslist, I can throw those up with the LED tubes in and we'll have even more light in here. We're reducing, we're reusing, we're recycling, we're saving money because LEDs don't hardly use any electricity. Ballast draw energy all the time. It's a win-win-win-win-win. Win-win. Win-win. Totally worth it. Now I'll be able to work in here with the garage door down. Don't have to have it up all the time. I can work out here at night. Yeah. It's just a win-win-win-win-win.
So here we go again, it's no surprise. 'Cause we know better than to roll the dice. So take this love and try to make it new. You can't fight it when it feels so true. Feels so true.